If you want to know what a man's like, take a good look at how he treats his inferiors, not his equals. It is our choices, Harry, that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. I solemnly swear that I am up to no good. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but just as much to stand up to our friends. Of course it is happening inside your head, Harry, but why on earth should that mean that it is not real? It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case, you fail by default. To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living, and, above all, those who live without love. Numbing the pain for a while will make it worse when you finally feel it. Dumbledore watched her fly away, and as her silvery glow faded he turned back to Snape, and his eyes were full of tears. After all this time? Always, said Snape. The truth, Dumbledore sighed. It is a beautiful and terrible thing, and should therefore be treated with great caution. Just because you have the emotional range of a teaspoon doesn't mean we all have. Remember, if the time should come when you have to make a choice between what is right and what is easy, remember what happened to a boy who was good and kind and brave, because he strayed across the path of Lord Voldemort. Remember Cedric Diggory. Do you remember me telling you we are practicing nonverbal spells, Potter? Yes, said Harry stiffly. Yes, sir. There's no need to call me Sir Professor. The words had escaped him before he knew what he was saying. We're all human, aren't we? Every human life is worth the same, and worth saving. Wit beyond measure is man's greatest treasure. Indifference and neglect often do much more damage than outright dislike. We are only as strong as we are united, as weak as we are divided. Is it true that you shouted at Professor Umbridge? Yes. You called her a liar? Yes. You told her he who must not be named is back? Yes. Have a biscuit, Potter. He can run faster than Severus Snape confronted with shampoo. Death's got an invisibility cloak? Harry interrupted again. So he can sneak up on people, said Ron. Sometimes he gets bored of running at them, flapping his arms and shrieking. You're a prefect? Oh, Ronnie. That's everyone in the family. What are Fred and I? Next door neighbors? It is the unknown we fear when we look upon death and darkness, nothing more. Not my daughter, you bitch. Books are like mirrors. If a fool looks in, you cannot expect a genius to look out. Percy wouldn't notice a joke if it danced naked in front of him wearing one of Dobby's hats. I find that discussing an idea out loud is often the way to kill it stone dead. Achievable goals are the first step to self-improvement. Youth cannot know how age thinks and feels. But old men are guilty if they forget what it was to be young. I've been writing since I was 6. It is a compulsion, so I can't really say where the desire came from. I've always had it. My breakthrough with the first book came through persistence because a lot of publishers turned it down. The truth is always easier than a lie or an evasion, easier to deal with and easier to live with. We can't choose our fate, but we can choose others. Be careful in knowing that. What's most important in a friendship? Tolerance and loyalty. Failure is so important. We speak about success all the time. It is the ability to resist failure or use failure that often leads to greater success. I've met people who don't want to try for fear of failing.